Hi guys, Michael here. Welcome to the fish room. This is becoming more and more of a jungle. But a couple of weeks ago we had 4 small nano tanks here, and we had some pots and jars with plants behind them and plants in them. I've taken all that down in order to make one large aquascape in these 2 shallow tanks. Today I'll show you how I scape this tank over here with lots of houseplants, lots of floating plants so far, and in the next coming video we're going to show how we scape this tank over here as well. But today it's about this one. Hang on. Okay guys, these 4 small tanks are going out. But first I'm gonna save all the houseplants that are going to be part of the new scape. Some of these were planted directly in the small tanks, while others started out in pots and buckets behind the tank and gradually took over the tanks. Nevertheless, everything is going out to make room for 2 large shallow tanks instead. When taking down tanks that has been running for years, it's always interesting to find the rare fish fry and shrimp you didn't know was in there. So all water is checked before being used as fertilizer for plants in the rest of our house and in the greenhouse in the garden. Okay, now we got kind of a clean canvas to work on. There's already a couple of wooden shelves I made when the small tanks were added. So all I have to do is clean the area and add a piece of soft foam from a sleeping mat. And we are ready for the first tank. The 2 tanks I'm gonna use for this project are old. 4 of these came with a rack I bought 30 years ago. So that say something about the durability of silicone glued glass tanks. And they were used for years before I got them. Anyway, now they will get a new life in this setup. First step is adding good old ordinary aquarium gravel. This is my go-to substrate, and like the tanks, it's reused again and again. Just cleaned in lukewarm water to keep the beneficial bacteria going. As always, I arrange the substrate so it is sloping from the back to the front. It's not that important in a shallow tank, but it adds to the three-dimensional experience and make any aquarium look bigger than it actually is. I install a small hang-on back filter. It's not going to have much impact as a biological filter, since the filter media is too small to do difference. But it will create a bit of water movement. Then I source some water from different well-circled tanks and top up with rainwater. Next step is trying out a new idea. Ulla and I found some of these small plant baskets at the garden center. The plan is to arrange 4 of these baskets in each of the new tanks and place the houseplants in there. This is a trial and error process, moving plants around until I'm pleased with the result. And it's probably gonna be a never-ending story. But with the help of some small pebbles in the baskets and a bit of dried out twigs from a corkscrew hazel, things start to take form. Since the tanks aren't long enough to fill out the shelves in the rack, I place a couple of plants in a jar beside the tank. That might be removed again once the plant starts running all over the rack. More plant is being added. If you want to know the basic info on preparing and keeping houseplants in the aquarium, we have an in-depth film on this on our channel. I'll put a link in the description below. Guess that's it for now. Now the plants just need to settle in. I have used a lot of different plants in here. You all know the peace lily. The plant under the lily is Cissus striata, also known as sugar wine or Japanese wine, even though it actually comes from South America. Then we have different ferns and the maranta with its fishbone-like patterns on the leaves. There's some polka dot plants in there. and the climbing ficus pumila. The underwater part of this scape will be done when the second tank is set up right beside this one. There will be added wood, rocks and pebbles and underwater plants, but that's gonna be part of the next video in this series. To make sure the tanks will have a good start, I add some floating plants that will start growing immediately. The floaters are the floating antler fern and frogbed. This is what the tank looked like a week ago. And this is what it looks like today. Next step is adding the other tank and make the two tanks part of one large aquascape. Okay guys, that's the first part of this large aquascape. In a future video I will continue with this shelf over here and these plants. I hope you're gonna follow the progress. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.